Welcome to Peace in the Valley, where adventure starts at home.
Hello. Well, this is our Gardening for Dummies 101, and we've been trying some new techniques with gardening because we're not very good. So I think we told you about our raised beds that we did, and Bryce will show you those at another time. But right now I'm going to start with my potted stuff that I put on the porch. So let's take a look. So I decided to put some herbs in some pots so I can bring them in the fall. And I've got basil and rosemary. The rosemary is the blue pot. It just came up today. I'm thinking it's pretty sensitive, but you can hardly see it. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but basil's looking pretty good. So cute. And over here I have some thyme, and then I have some 4 little tiny pots ready to transplant when I have some bigger herbs. And then these are a lot of flowers just because I thought it'd be fun. This is going to be some zinnias. And we've got snapdragons. I think all of these are snapdragons. And then this is a Shasta daisy. And right here is Julia's succulent. It's in a cute little pot that she got from the local flower shop in town. She calls him Riley. And then here, I think these are forget-me-nots, and they're not coming up yet. They must be pretty sensitive too. And this right here is my attempt to regrow celery. It's kind of looking bad on the sides, but it is growing and it gets bigger every day. So I'm gonna give it like another week, and then I'm gonna plant it in the ground and see if I can get a stalk of celery. It's just an experiment. And then these little ones Julia got me for Mother's Day. The blue one is some lavender, and the brown one is some chamomile. And then I've got another pot of snapdragons, and here's a little succulent that Julia also got me for Mother's Day. It did not like being inside. It just kind of started dying and shriveling up, so I brought it out here, and it's kind of liking it. You can see that one corner, it's kind of growing better. And then up here, this pot of flowers, I don't remember what these are. Oh, cosmos, more cosmos. These are growing different. Okay, I want to walk you around the house and I'll show you my different herbs that I have growing and stuff like that. This is in front of my house. These are just some flowers that grow every year, and this has been planted since we've lived here. You can see starting here, those flat leaf things are irises. Some of these things, you guys happen to know what they are, and I don't, because I don't know what any of these are called. Go ahead and put that in the comments for us. That way we can get some identification, because I'm going to make some markers for all of these. So that way people, when they ask, I'll have a marker in the ground for what they are. These little yellow flowers are adorable. They come up every spring. And we've got some milkweed that I'm just letting grow just because it's so fun to watch the monarchs every year. These flowers right here that have the purple leaves, they get some really like fluorescent blue flowers here in about July. And then these right here, those are my echinacea, or purple cone flowers as some people call them. And then there's these bushes right here. Those will get some big yellow flowers on them. These bushes are mammoth. They're just huge. They go way up past my knees. Same way with these. These ones right here, I need to thin these. So anybody watching and you live in the Antwerp area and you'd like a cluster of these, it's a perennial, comes up every year. I can't kill it. Don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. You can see some of the flowers have started blooming already. And then these are another one. When the sun shines just right on these, they look like they're lights. And then this one right here, I've got about 3 of these. You see that cone right there? They had a bright purple flower, light purple, and it's just that one stalk and some real dainty leaves at the ground. Don't know what those are, but I have about 4 of those, and they're just buried in here because of these huge bushes. Huge, they go up way past my waist. You guys are in the area, you're more than welcome to them. This I can't remember what color of flowers these get on them, but these also come up every year, and this has been spreading. It started out with just this little cluster right here by the landscaping rocks, and it has just filled in this whole area. This is a struggling rose bush. It was a bush and it died, and now it came back as whatever it was before it was grafted, which is just a wild tea rose climber. So I really need to just chop it down and get rid of it, because it's gonna start being annoying, because all it does is do that. But it gets these fun little roses on them, so I leave them. And here, these two are my pride and joy right here. You can see the long leaves. Those are my tiger lilies, and then I've got peonies that grow right behind them. And these peonies are absolutely lovely. They're a deep mauve color, and they're just adorable. I love them. Over here, it's pretty weedy. I don't know if they're actually gonna grow, but I planted, where all these sticks are, I planted ferns that I got free from the Arbor Day Foundation. And I don't know if they're coming up or not. I'm gonna try to clean them out here and do that. And here is a tragic end. This was a white lilac bush that got uprooted when we had that heavy April snow. Had about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, and it just weighted everything down. Damaged. This whole tree is done for, and then my one in the back, I had to chop half of it off. I'll show you that in a minute. Right here, I planted, we had like a little dip in the ground for some reason, so I put a big wheelbarrow two load of dirt there, and I planted wildflowers. Bryce doesn't know, he just keeps mowing it, but that's okay. If they grow, they grow. If not, it'll be a nice little weedy grassy area. Right here is my mint. This is just a common peppermint, I believe. And then splitting them off in the middle is my sage. This was a huge bush. And I don't know if you can see its main thing right here. I would keep it trimmed up. For some reason, this back half just won't come back. So I've got all these new starts in the front. It's already flowered for the year. And then this right here on this side is my spearmint. And you can see it's already uprooted my border that I have out here. And I also have some wild violets that keep trying to grow back here. Over here, I just planted this one last summer. This is some lemon balm. It smells divine. It's like a nice fresh glass of lemon water when you rub your hands on it. And here is my lavender. I also planted these last summer. They're coming back pretty good. Don't mind our tall grass. I haven't trimmed yet. Bryce just got done mowing and I haven't had time to trim yet. So I've got 1, 2, 3 lavender bushes. When these flower in the fall, I harvest all the flowers off the end, and I just kind of lay them around the house because they smell so nice. And then here I have some more echinacea. I've got 3 tufts of echinacea growing back here. I have some bird feeders. I just haven't put them up yet. We have a persistent weed tree that will not leave us alone right here. Bryce is going to chop that down for me here before we go inside for the night. Around this side is my chives. They've already got flowers on them, as you can see, so I'll probably get some harvest in these. Get a bunch in the fridge to use. And then around here, these are some spring tulips I just have marked. So I want to dig these up and replant them somewhere where it's just a better place. Because Bryce wants to mow right here and he gets mad at me when I yell at him for mowing over my tulips every spring. So I'm just going to dig them up. Back out here is my attempt at pine berries and strawberries. This all right here is just pine berries. This is their 4th summer in the ground, or 4th growing season in the ground. So they have just exploded. And I'm gonna do some thinning, try to make some rows with some of the manure that we have. And then I have some new strawberry starts because I was reading an article that said to incorporate your pine berries and your strawberries together. So I'm gonna give that a try. Over here, I have a little composter here. It's called Sub Pod. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on a video because it's a brand name, but I think it's meant for suburbanites, not for the homesteader, because I have it all full and my red wigglers haven't come yet to try to break down my compost. So it's really gross in there right now. This Bryce tried to till up, as you saw, and the tiller exploded. So this right here is to be continued, but I think I'm gonna put some perennials over here, some onions, asparagus, horseradish, and garlic, I think is what's gonna go back here, just so that way it can be here all every year and a little less maintenance for this area. It's a real sandy soil because when we moved here there was a pool sitting right here. And here is the other lilac bush that I said got destroyed. It was a huge lilac bush. I cut down about a third of it. And I'm gonna trim it way back even more, get down to the main studs of the branches and get some of those little tiny branches out of there, just so it's not so shady for this garden over here. On the end of the pine berries, I didn't get to show you guys this yet. This is my blackberries. Now, again, anybody who's watching this and you have any tips of the trade for me, I can't get this to get any bigger. Now, it has grown. It's been about 8 years. And I put 3 starts over here. But every year, I know it's really weedy. No judgment. I know it's weedy. I have so many of the big branches, they die. And then when the others try to come back, I don't get a very good yield. I have yet to get a sufficient yield. I get about 2 handfuls a year. Also, ideas on how to keep birds off of it would be great. So again, I don't know if Bryce is going to say this when we finally put this whole video together, but like and subscribe to our channel, and if you have any suggestions to help us out, try to get a better yield in our garden, we will take it. Thanks a lot. Back to the raised beds, they're right here. Today I planted some of my babies. I'm so proud of myself. Got some broccoli right here. I grew these from seeds. Look at them, they're so cute. Look how tiny they are. And then down here on the end I have 3 Brussels sprouts that came up. Oh, it's my first attempt to grow from seeds. I'm so proud of myself. And then we have some spinach. It's looking really good. Carrots. This is mixed leaf lettuce, different colors. Down here is a little plant of Swiss chard. I don't like Swiss chard, but Julia does. And then we have some radishes. It's about time to start thinning them back so that we can get a good yield. I gotta read through my gardening book again, remember how to do that. And then over here, again, is Bryce's potato bed. Just put about 2 layers of hay on top of here, and they are just loving it. They're just growing right up through it. I'm hoping for a good yield this year of potatoes because we really like potatoes. And it was so inexpensive because it was just a bag of potatoes that somebody gave us that had grown eyes, and they're like, ew, I can't eat these now that they grew eyes. So we're like, okay, we'll plant them. So the only money we have in this is that wood and the cover that we put on the bottom. So that's cool, especially if we get a good yield. So as I said before, this is Gardening for Dummies 101. And any suggestions or helpful hints for us, we would be very, very appreciative. We just want to try to do a better job at taking care of God's earth and utilizing everything we can to be a blessing to others. Have a good night.